Hey guys, this is my first YouTube video, and today it's all about my everyday makeup. So if you're interested in getting this look right here, keep watching. Hey guys, so I'm barefaced. I work from home, so this is gonna be an everyday makeup look that I don't do all the time, but there are days when I have a lot of Zoom meetings and I just want to feel put together, you know? So this is not going to be a makeup tutorial on everything drugstore or everything high-end either. So it's a little bit of in between. My face is completely bare. I've washed it, I've put moisturizer on, and to be completely honest, I don't utilize primer. I feel like I've used a ton of those in the past, and I just don't feel like they do a lot for me. So we're skipping the primer. It's not something I do, but we're very moisturized. For me, my first step is always foundation. So my go-to, and thanks to Julia Havens, I'm addicted to this now. This is the Sephora Best Skin Ever, and I'm utilizing, oh my God. This is the one that I am using. And you guys, this is so good if you want that natural look. You still want to see your skin through the foundation. This is not full coverage. So this is why this is perfect for me when I'm working from home. I'm not going to do full coverage if I don't have to. I have pretty sensitive skin and I break out fairly easily. So if I don't have to use a full coverage, I'm not going to. I typically just put a few drops on my hand. And another brush that Julia got me onto is the Sephora number 64 brush. I don't know if you can see that. It's almost like a stippling brush, but not, if that makes sense. I just love it for this foundation. So put a little bit on my brush. To me, this is almost like a tinted moisturizer, but it doesn't have the sunscreen. So we're not gonna call it that. But it has definitely that light and airy feel to it, but it still covers. Another thing too is don't cake it on underneath your eyes here. You don't wanna be really cakey there. So I'll take my foundation a little bit there, but I'm not packing it under my eye at all because I want to make sure I'm not super cakey as I layer my concealer. So we finished with foundation. Next is concealer. Now, I have tried so many concealers, so many. This one is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I've got two different ones. So the white one is the satin finish, and then the black one is the e.l.f. 16-hour Camo Concealer. They both cover really well. This one's just a little bit more, well, it says satin, and that's exactly how I describe it. So I just put a little bit here for lifting. I don't have crazy dark under eyes, but I still like to brighten. I always brighten here, and I do have some slight breakouts and a scar, so I have some pigmentation. And my tried and true beauty blender. This is already damp, so I damped it, got it, oh my God, damped it. I got it damp, and then I wrung it out really well, so it still has some wetness to it, but it's not like overly, it's not gonna like take off my makeup. Blend this out really well. Now, because I didn't take my foundation all the way up and I didn't cake it under there, my concealer isn't going to look super thick. So it's gonna look really natural, but bright. Okay, the next thing I do before I bronze or anything is I bake. I live in Arizona. It's August in Arizona right now, and it's hot. So, you know, during this time of the year, I am a little bit more oily than I normally am. So because of that, I still do like to bake my under eye just to, you know, set it so that I don't get like greasy through here later. My mascara is sticking to my cheek. Like, I hate that. I used to be tried and true, obsessed with Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. You guys, I'm not anymore. I never thought this day would come. I never thought I'd say this, but Huda Beauty. This is Pound Cake. This is the perfect color. It's really easy to blend out, especially if I'm baking like I'm really contouring, this is so good for that. So all I do is I take my sponge again and I'm just dipping it in the powder. Sometimes people put it in the lid. That's a little messy for me. I just go straight in, whatever. Just get a little bit on there and we're just going to set. Now, that's the first step, is to set. This is not baking yet. So I am just pressing that powder lightly, not getting a ton of powder on my beauty blender, but I'm just using that to press that into my under eye. Then I bake. I get a little bit more on there. And here is where we kind of dab it. I bring it down a little bit because I do tend to get a little greasy around my nose. Just is what it is. And same thing over here. So you're kind of seeing that pattern. So I set first. So that's just taking a little bit, pressing it in to the under eye. And then I will take it and set just like my T-zone area. I'm not baking my T-zone area, I'm just setting it. So while I have my sponge out, I tend to do this. And you can see, like, I'm not putting a lot on, but I'm dabbing it in till it's gone, till you can't see that white cast, because this is baking. And what we're doing here is just setting, okay? Another option I wanted to show you guys that I use to set and to bake is I will sometimes use a brush. This is the Sephora 73 brush. And I love this brush because it's pretty flat. So I can like dip it directly in the powder and press it on. But I feel like for baking, this is very, very good at getting that concentrated amount of powder on your skin. Next is brows, and brows are important. I don't care if you're working from home and no one's gonna see you but the dog or the cat. Do your brows. There are days where I'll put moisturizer on, even if I'm running to Target or running to the grocery store and it's nothing special, I still do my brows. It's just a part of me. So I do have my eyebrows microbladed, but it's been since 2019. So they need some help. I do not have thick brows, but they're there and they have some sort of a shape. They looked a lot better when they were brand new with the microblading. But I'm just brushing them up. See that? I love this. I think I'm running out because it's not as strong of a tint anymore, but it's got a really nice refined tip on it, as you can see there. So it really is almost like a liquid liner, but it's for your brows. So I'm gonna fill them in with my mirror over here so I can get a really close look at it. But essentially all I'm doing is just little flicks. Literally brow flick is what it's called. And I'll just fill in any sparse areas. But what I love about this is it doesn't say it is, but it's pretty waterproof. I have a pool in my backyard and I will swim with this. I brought this to Mexico with me and it does not smudge. Like, it's not running off your face, but it will come off with, you know, when you wash your face at night, but I have to like scrub. I'm gonna fill these in off camera and then I'll be right back. Okay, brows are done. I kept them pretty natural, just filled them in using once again, the Glossier Brow Flick. And I just keep it pretty simple. Brows have always been my thing. They just really frame the face and you want them to stay there. So you take the time to do them, you want them to stay in place. This is Anastasia's clear brow gel. I just run this through and get them a little messy. I think, you know, that's kind of the look right now, is having them be a little bit more fluffy. So I brush them up, I do. I also trim my brows so they aren't crazy long, so I don't look like I have grandpa brows per se, but you could get away with it if that's your thing. So brows are done. I feel like I've baked for about 5-10 minutes now. So once again, this is that Sephora 73 brush, and I'm just gonna take it and get that powder off. So next is bronzer. If you don't bronze your face, what are you even doing? I wanted to find a really good dupe for the Chanel their cream bronzer that went like viral everywhere, but I just can't fathom spending that much on something that I'm just not sure if I'm gonna love. So I went to Sephora and got the Fenty Beauty. This is called Cheeks Out, and it's in number 3 Macchiato. I'll show you guys what this looks like. I use a brush like this. I think this is Real Techniques, you know, kind of stipple it onto my face. Same with the other side. And then, you know, one thing to make sure of is you don't want to take the contour too low. You want to keep everything higher, even your blush, and I'll show you that here in a moment. Cat hair, sorry. So with any bronzer, it's like that 3, right? You want to bring it up into your hairline. And really blend that out. And bring it down my neck. So it looks, you know, like everything's one. And then the last step, I am not super careful with this because it's a cream. I'm gonna blend it out and it's just an everyday look. This is not super defined. This is not super contoured. So I'll just go in with this same brush and I'll go along the outside of my nose, kind of bring it up to my brow. So, you know, I bring it like this and into that brow line there. But you don't have to be super perfect with this, and I'm not re-dipping and doing this. This is just what's left on my brush. I'll also run this through my crease so that it kind of pulls everything together. So, you know, everything looks as one. All right, now you don't want this to slide off your face. So I will go in with a bronzer brush. This is one of my favorites. These are Morphe and it came in a kit. Love these. It's also part of this one that I use a lot. My powder brush that I use a lot. So this was a good one. But I like that it's angled, but it's still fluffy. All right, drugstore bronzer, tried and true. And you guys, it smells good. Like, isn't that what we all want? Smells like summer. This is Butter Bronze and it is by Physicians Formula. I think this did go viral. I think this is definitely a fan favorite. And it's my go-to. As you can tell, I've hit pan on it, but and the color that I use is the Sun-Kissed Bronzer. But I will just tap a little bit in this. Always tap it off. You don't want to get too much. And I'm not re-contouring with this, but I'm almost setting my cream bronzer. So this is just gonna help it last a little bit longer, not be super sticky on your face. So I'm not going in with this translucent setting powder. I don't wanna take any pigment away and I don't wanna mattify my whole face, but I just want to mattify where my bronzer was and just set that. So I will just go in into those same spots and bring it down my neck. Even bring it to your chest if you want, but like I said, this is just a working from home look. This is my eyeshadow as well. Kendall Jenner did a tutorial one time for, not Cosmo, it was some sort of magazine, and she did the same thing, and I was like, yes, girl, yes. Because I do this a lot. All I do is take a big fluffy brush, and I work it through my crease. I'm not doing anything super defined. I'm not going all the way up to my brow bone, but I'm keeping it, you know, pretty light. I'm not going super dark, but this just gives me a little bit of dimension in my crease. See that? Oh, we love to see that. Just a little bit of definition, a little bit of warmth. I kind of, you know, bring it out, connect it to my temple a little bit, like bring it out that way. And that's it. Like, it just gives me the amount of definition. Can you see that difference? It's so subtle, but it makes all the difference, I think. So I'm gonna do the same to this eye, okay? Now, you can end it there and just do your mascara, but I tend to go one step further. And a palette that I've been obsessed with, I've been using it for years, is this Milani Bold Obsessions palette. Oh, it's dirty. But it's a go-to of mine and it's drugstore, so we love it. And this color is Sands of Time. And then I take a brush that's flat like this and I just run it along my lid and into my inner corner. So a little bit of sheen there just to kind of liven things up, brighten things up, but you can bring it up to your brow bone if you want a little bit. This is like, you know, really going in. I don't typically do that. You know, put it on your nose if you want. Okay, so the one thing that we haven't done is blush. Listen, I probably have 100 blushes in my drawer, and I've used NARS Orgasm. That is such a favorite of mine. I've used it all. My favorite that I have found, and I actually think this is super close in color and to NARS Orgasm, Dolce Pink, and it's a baked powder blush, once again by Milani. I'll link everything below. This is super similar to NARS Orgasm. It has that same type of sheen, and it's almost like an orangey pink. This is a little bit more on the pinky side, so I think maybe the Orgasm does have a little bit more of a corally with the pink tint, but they're so similar. I think people used to do apples of the cheeks a lot. I keep it pretty high nowadays, so I still take it back, make sure it's blended, but see how it just gives, like, it has like a little bit of a sheen to it. I don't know if you can see that, but you know, you can go on top of your nose, but it's just super pretty. I just love this color. All right, next is curling your lashes. I'm gonna curl my lashes off screen and put my mascara on, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, I've put on my mascara. I wanted to show you the mascara that I've been using lately. Another drugstore, and also something I was just super curious to try to see if this brand lives up to the hype, but it's the KKW Beauty Mascara, and this one's just in black. And I was a little skeptical at first, but I love this mascara. I've been using it all the time. I don't feel like it flakes. I don't feel like it gets underneath my under eye throughout the day, and I just love this one. It's not gonna be something that makes them super long and lengthening if that's what you're looking for, but it does make them pretty full. I don't have the longest lashes, but I definitely feel like it's not super clumpy, and it just makes them full and not, you know, all over my face. So we like that. And once again, we're working from home, so I'm not putting on any lipstick. I'm not going crazy with my lips, but as we saw before, my lips are super chapped these days. I think I need to drink some more water. But I do chapstick it up. So I am obsessed with the Laneige Sleep Mask. It smells good. It tastes good. No, it doesn't. It doesn't taste good. Never mind. It smells really good. And it's just a good go-to of mine. I put a lot on there. I just like to feel moisturized throughout the day. And this is my finished look. So it's nothing crazy, but it's super glowy, and it just gives me that youthful look. I'm brightened under the eye, my brows are done, and I just don't look like I'm trying too hard, but I still look alive. This is the finished look. If you guys want to see more of my videos, just things that make me happy. So home decor, just a little bit of everything. So stay tuned and subscribe. I'll link everything below, and thanks for watching.